Hey everyone. So on Wednesday we did section 1.2. Today we're doing section 1.3, models and applications. This is basically going to be word problems. So let's look at a strategy for solving word problems. I just put this in here mostly for you guys. This way you can refer back to it and follow these steps if you need to. If you get stuck on a homework problem, you can just follow these steps and maybe it'll help you get through it. So this is mostly for you, but basically, step 1, read the problem carefully several times until you can state it in your own words, what is given and what the problem is looking for. Let x, or any variable, represent one of the unknown quantities in the problem. So when you're reading this, step 1, just try to think about what your x should be. And then in step 2, if necessary, write expressions for any other unknown quantities in the problem in terms of x. So if it's a rate or maybe you'll see in the next problem it's going to be x plus something like that. I always just write down every number they give me and then try to figure out what it should be. Step 3, write an equation in x that models the verbal conditions of the problem. Step 4, solve the equation and answer the problem's question. And then step 5, check the solution in the original wording of the problem, not in the equation obtained from the words. So basically when you solve and you get x is equal to something, don't box that in. Go back to your problem and see what it's asking you for and then write your answer in words. So we'll see that in this next example. So here we're looking at the average earnings of full-time workers in the United States by highest educational attainment. So over here on our y-axis, we have the average of yearly earnings. And over here on x, we have the degree levels. And they do have it divided up by female and male, but of course, we're just going to look at the males today, and then if you want to look at other types of problems, they're in the book for you. So the average yearly salary of a man with a bachelor's degree exceeds that of a man with an associate's degree by $25,000. So basically, okay, so let's just start again. The average yearly salary of a man with a bachelor's degree exceeds that of a man with an associate's degree by $25,000. The average yearly salary of a man with a master's degree exceeds that of a man with an associate's degree by $45,000. Combined, 3 men with each of these degrees earn $214,000. Find the average yearly salary of men with each of these levels of education. So if you look at it, when it says bachelor's degree exceeds that of an associate's, master's exceeds that of an associate's. Again, basically each one is being compared to an associate's degree, right? So let's just list, that means associates, bachelor's, and master. Okay, so again, all of these are just some number, right? We don't know what they are, but we know that it's something. So associates, some number. Bachelor's, some number, plus 25,000. And we're going to leave off this 1,000 first for a while. Not for a while, just the entire time. We're just going to write just the 25. And then master's, again, it's some number plus 45. Okay, so we know that some number is just going to be x. So that's x plus 25. X plus 45. Okay, so let's go back to our problem, see what they're asking for us. Combined, 3 men with each of these degrees earn $214,000. So if we combine all of these, that means just add them up. X plus 25, x plus 45 equals $214,000. Okay, so do your order of operations. See if there's anything in the parentheses to do. There's not. Addition won't change anything, so we can just drop off the parentheses. Okay, so now let's combine our like terms. We have x, so 3x, 25 and 45 is 70, 214. Okay, so you're left with So let's get x's on one side and constants on the other. So you subtract 70. Those cancel, you're left with 3x is equal to, well, 4 minus 0 is 4, 21 minus 7 is 14. So 3x equals 144. If you divide that by 3, then x is, I think, 48. But let's check that. 144 divided by 3. 3 doesn't go into 1. 3 goes into 14 4 times, so 4 times 3 is 12. 14 minus 12 is 2. Bring down your 4. 3 goes into 24 8 times. So yes, 48. Okay, so you might think that x equals 48 is your answer, but it's not actually. You need to go back to your question and read it. Find the average yearly salary of the men with each of these levels of education. That means they want to know associates, masters, bachelors, all of it. So associates, that was just X, right? So associate's degree earns 48,000. Okay? Bachelor's degree earns, I think it's 73, because remember, let's go back up here. We said bachelor's was X plus 25, so that's what, 48 plus 25, so 73. Let's go ahead and do this one down here. X plus 45, so 48 plus 25, or 45, sorry. 48 plus 45 is 93. Okay. So his bachelor's degree earns 73,000, and master's degree earns 93,000. Okay, so this is your answer. You have to answer it in words. If you just gave me x equals 48, I would probably give you about 1/4 of the credit, because if you see here, we have 3 answers, right? So you only answered 1, associates, and you answered it incorrectly because basically you have no units. So if you had said x equals like 48,000, I might have given it to you, but you need to tell me what x is again, and so unless you explicitly stated that up top, it would be hard to give you partial. So make sure you write out your answers so that you can get full credit. So read the problem carefully. So something that is a little funny, whenever I was in high school, someone taught me RTFP. Read the freaking problem, or you can substitute that for a different word. Maybe that will help you remember. So if you see a word problem, maybe write that up top and read the freaking problem. Make sure you read it so that you don't mess up. So it's just kind of a little fun thing to help you remember. Okay, let's talk about the word exceeds for a second. If you see more than, less than, something like that, you automatically, you can understand that just fine. But when you see words like exceeds, maybe you're just like, well, maybe it's a little confusing. So let's just do another example with exceeds. So here we are. Here's Charlie, and here is Mary. Remember, these are my cats. And so Charlie says Charlie's weight exceeds Mary's weight by a pounds. So since Mary is a lighter cat, she would be X, right? Because she's just one weight. That we're talking about, like, how to best explain this. So when you're talking about 2 different variables, Charlie and Mary, we're both talking about weight here. So we want to put our question in terms of X. So Mary would be X, Charlie would be X plus A, because we don't know how much Mary weighs, and we don't know how many more pounds Charlie weighs, but we know that he is A more pounds than Mary. He exceeds Mary's weight by 8 pounds. So that's all that means. So if I asked you, well, how much does Charlie weigh? Or actually, you know what? Let's start with Mary first. Charlie's always getting all the attention. How much does Mary weigh? You would say, well, Mary weighs X pounds. Okay? And that's it. What if I asked you, how much does, little Charlie weigh? You would say, well, Charlie weighs X plus A pounds. Okay? That's it. Let's look at another example. So the toll to a bridge. Okay, the toll to a bridge costs $7. Commuters who use the bridge frequently have. So okay, again, while you're okay. So actually, I have a new method. I'm gonna read the problem and then I'm gonna go back through it and underline important stuff. So let's restart. The toll to a bridge costs $7. Commuters who use the bridge frequently have the option of purchasing a monthly discount pass for $30. With the discount pass, the toll is reduced to $4. For how many bridge crossings per month will the total monthly cost without the discount pass be the same as the total monthly cost with the discount pass? Okay, so not too bad. Let's underline our important information. The toll to a bridge costs $7. Those who go frequently have the option of purchasing a monthly discount pass for $30. With the discount pass, the toll is reduced to $4. Okay, and then just for how many bridge crossings per month will the total monthly cost without the discount pass be the same as the total monthly cost with the discount pass? Okay, so they're asking you how many bridge crossings to break even. That's essentially what they're asking you. So again, toll to cross a bridge costs $7. So each time you cross the bridge, you're paying $7. So we're going to represent as 7x. X being the number of times you cross that bridge. Okay? And then you want to know how many per month, blah, 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 will it be the same as the total with the discount pass. So you're just looking at without the discount pass and with how many bridge crossings will it take. So you're just going to do 30 plus 4x, because when you have the monthly pass, you're paying that $30 one-time fee, and then you have to pay 4 times still when you cross. Okay? So now that we have our equation set up, we can start solving for x. So let's get x on one side and our constants on the other. 7x minus 4x is 3x equal to 30. We're going to divide by 3. The 3's cancel. You're left with x, and 30 divided by 3 is 10. Okay, so again, do not box in x equals 10. That is not your answer, right? So you would only get a little bit of credit if you put that. Now, the actual answer is 10 bridge crossings. Okay? And then again, you can check this too if you want. You can plug it in and make sure it's right. We've talked about checking. So let's look at when is it good to buy the monthly discount price. Well, you know what? Before we go into that, why don't we actually just check it? Okay, so let's do it. 7 times 10 equals 30 plus 4 times 10. So that's 70. 30 plus 40. Okay? It's right, and we see that it does indeed break even. Okay, so when is it good to buy the monthly discount price? So we know it's good when we go 10 times, right? So anytime more than 10 is going to be good. So it's x greater than or equal to 10. So let's take a look at that. What if we went 11 times? Well, 7 times 11 is 77. 4 times 11 is 44. Okay, so that's not, so it's actually, yeah. So see, we see that anytime your X is greater than 10, it is good to buy the monthly discount price. When is it bad to buy the monthly discount price? Well, that's going to be when X is less than 10. Let's take a look at that. What if we only crossed twice? Okay, so 7 times 2 is 14. 4 times 2 is 8. Alright, 14 is less than 38. We see that. So we know that it's bad to buy the monthly discount when you're going less than 10 times. Because you are not getting your money's worth if you go less than 10 times. It's kind of like if you go to the gym. If you have a monthly membership and you're only going once a month, it's not really worth it. Because one, you could just walk outside probably for that same amount of exercise. Or you could probably get a day pass that one time that you go. So it's not really good to buy the monthly membership if you're not going to actually use it every single week at least. You know, or probably more than every week, like a couple times a week. You want to get your money's worth. That's kind of all this is representing. Okay, let's do another example. After a 30% price reduction, you purchase a new laptop for $840. What was the laptop's price before the reduction? Okay, well, let's take a look at 30% real quick. 30%. We can call that 30, right? And if you put 0.0, that's just still 30. So when you have a percentage and you want to change it to a decimal, go ahead and write it like this. And then you move your decimal to the left 2 times. So it becomes 0.3. Same thing. If I gave you 0.3 and I asked you for a percentage, you would do the same thing. The only difference is you move your decimal to the right twice. And then put in a 0 there, and it's 30%. Okay, so that's how decimals and percentages work. So I just wanted to make sure no one is confused when I say 0.3. So now the question asked you, what was the laptop's price before the reduction? Okay, well, we don't know the laptop's price, right? So when we don't know that number, it's unknown, we can call it X, right? And then it's reduced. Reduce means subtract, okay? And it's reduced by 30%, which we are going to put that as a decimal. It's a price reduction. Remember, X is the price. This is the price reduction, so it's 0.3 times X. And that is what's going to get you $840. So now we can solve for X. So X, you can call that 1X, that's understood 1. 1X minus 0.3X is 0.7X, equal to 840. We're going to isolate X, so let's divide by 0.7. Divide by 0.7. And you're left with X equal to 1200. So I was able to do that real quick, but again, you can't use a calculator, so if you forgot how to divide by decimal, all you would need to do is you have 0.7, get rid of that decimal. Okay, so if we move it, then right here, we have to add a 0. So it becomes 8400 divided by 7. 7 goes into 8 one time. 1 times 7 is 7. 8 minus 7 is 1. Bring down the 4. 7 goes into 14 twice. 2 times 7 is 14. And bring down your 0. 7 doesn't go into 0. Doesn't go into 0. So 0. So you get 1200. Okay. So you wouldn't say X equals 1200, right? That's not your answer. So instead, you have to go back and it says, what was the laptop's price before the reduction? Okay, the price was $1,200. And then you can keep going if you want before the